Hey everybody, it's Sean here bringing you another how-to video. Today we're going to dive into the oil change procedure for a 2000 and newer Yamaha TT-R125 motorcycle. This one in particular happens to be the LE version, L for large wheel and E for electric start version of the TT-R125, but this video should apply to all these dirt bikes as the engine specs have stayed the same for many years. Okay, let's dive into the process. The first thing you'll need is your choice of oil. We're going to use 10W40 here. You can use Yamalube, AMSOIL, or a number of other oil types. We're going to use full synthetic in this case. It's always nice to have some shop towels, a funnel. Of course, we need a catch pan. I like to use some gloves. It can make the process a little easier. We've got a 3/8 torque wrench to get the right torque specs on our drain bolt. And then we've got a 3/8 ratchet with a 17mm socket. That's what the drain plug will be on this TT-R125. Okay, next you'll want to run your bike. Go take it around the block or around the yard. Go for a rip. Get it nice and warm. We want that oil to be warm. It will help us with the drain procedure. The next thing we're going to do, this bike here has already been warmed up. So I'm going to loosen the fill cap. And you can either leave it in the bike once you've got it. We just need enough air to be able to allow the drain process to go more smoothly for us. You can set it down. We'll clean that up in a little bit. Next, we're going to go to the other side of the bike. And I'll show you where our drain bolt is. You can see it's right under the shift lever. So that's the 17mm drain plug that we're going to need to loosen up. Lefty-loosey, of course. And we'll get this oil drained out. Okay, you can see I've got the drain plug removed and I do have the oil draining now. It looks pretty fresh actually. Not too shabby here, but nonetheless, this is a bike I've recently purchased and thought it would be best to perform an oil change. It's always better safe than sorry. So I'll let this continue to drain from the bike, and then we will go to the next steps here. While you're waiting for the rest of that oil to drain, you can always take your dipstick, clean that up. There's a little rubber O-ring here that you want to make sure is in good shape. Look for any little nicks or weird kinks in that O-ring. Same with your drain bolt here. You can see I've got the crush washer on it yet, but see if there's any weird flat spots or kinks, damage to that crush washer. At the end of the day, it's always cheap insurance to replace it every oil change. I have reused, I should say, crush washers before and had plenty of luck doing that, but it is at the very least a good idea to inspect and if need be, replace that crush washer. Okay, now that the oil has finished draining, I did clean up this mating surface at the bottom of the motor and I've reinserted the drain plug. We're going to tighten this plug to 15 pound-feet of torque if you do have a torque wrench. If you don't have a torque wrench and you're going to try this process, do not crank on that drain plug. The last thing you want to do is strip your threads and cause a lot bigger issue with your motorcycle than just trying to follow the manufacturer's recommended torque settings of 15 pound-feet. So get it nice and snug, but do not crank on that thing and risk stripping your threads. We're now ready to add our new oil. The first thing you'll want to do is clean up this surface around that fill cap and your dipstick. Get that nice and clean, and we'll use our funnel and put the new oil in. We're going to shoot for 1 US quart. You can see the motor calls for 1,000 centimeters cubed, which is the same as 1,000 milliliters or 1 liter. That's a little bit more than 1 US quart. However, if you know there's going to be some residual oil still in this motor. So let's start with 1 US quart or 1,000 milliliters, and we'll see where we're at once we check that oil level. Okay, now that I've added the oil, we're going to check the oil level by first standing the bike up slightly, and just basically balancing it straight up and down, upright, and we will insert our dipstick into the fill hole, and we're just going to basically put it push it straight down without turning the threads at all. And as we do that, that'll get, that's the proper way to check it, and we'll be able to then check the end of the dipstick. But again, you do need to pick the bike up from its kickstand location, stand it straight up and down, and check that oil level, check the dipstick for the oil level that way. So I'm going to bring it back down. I'm going to pull this dipstick here, and what we're looking for is for that oil to be right on those grooves, as you can see. We want it to be towards the top, and if you're anywhere on the grooves, you're in good shape. If you're towards the bottom side of those grooves, you would want to add a little bit of oil. But as you can see, this one looks like we're in good shape. I'll check it again after freeing up my other hand here, and we'll be in good shape. But once you get that oil level in a good spot, you've wrapped it up. Simply reinstall your dipstick and go back to ripping, guys. I hope this video helps, and if you wouldn't mind doing me a favor, please like and subscribe. I'll keep these how-to videos coming. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.